Hey, this is Jeremy Wong again, answering part two of assignment 3.3. And after watching the video about propaganda wars between Japan and the US, and after watching the video of the story of uh, uh, George in his experience with the concentration camp, I'm answering the questions to those two videos. So the first question asks, "What is my overall response to the role propaganda plays in the perspective, shaping perspective of people of other cultures?" And I think it plays a huge role in it. I think that media plays a huge role. Propaganda through media plays a huge role in how people view and accept other people from different cultures, and I think it's done that today. I mean, right after 9/11, there was a lot of Islamophobia going on, and anyone who looked like they were from the Middle East were treated differently, and some of them were unjustly taken from street and things like that, and questioned and stopped at airports, and so yeah, I think that that type of propaganda, that type of ostracizing other people, I think that still happens today. Um, the second question talks about what are my thoughts on the statement, "We are setting a standard for the treatment of people who may have loyalties to an enemy nation. We are protecting ourselves without violating the principles of Christian decency." And what is my reaction to that statement? I get that at that time, the United States was in high alert because our nation was attacked, and we definitely should protect ourselves from our enemies. But I think they were trying to make excuses for the inhumane treatment that they treated others with, specifically the Japanese Americans. I don't think they had Christian decency in the ways that they treated them. I feel that they were judged, they were unjustly, the homes were unjustly, businesses were unjustly taken because they looked like the enemy. And I think that, you know, questions were asked, the surveys that were given were asked in a very misleading way. It was kind of a loaded question, the ways they were asked, and I think people were treated unjustly, and not a way that a Christian would treat another individual. And I understand that we need to protect our country, but I definitely don't think that we did that with Christian decent or Christian decency. The third question is, what was your reaction to the overall message portrayed by the U.S. government through forcing Japanese Americans into internment camps? I again, I understand we need to protect our country, I cannot fathom how people were feeling after being attacked at home by an enemy. Um, but I still think that it is unfair. It is not right to take the people from the homes, from the jobs, just because they look like certain people. I think that's social profiling, and I think it's wrong. Now, if they deserve it, if they were in cohorts with the enemy, if they were spies, then yes, I think the government had the right to do that and to act on it to protect ourselves. But to do that just because of how someone looks or what someone looked like, I think that's wrong. My reaction with listening to the testimony, I was saddened. I'm an Asian American, and I can't even believe how, I can't even fathom what people like that went through. I'm an Asian American, but I was born in America, and Japanese Americans who were born in America taken from the home just because they look like the enemy is horrible, and I can't believe the things that they went through. And again, it's a dark chapter in United States history. The way we treated the Japanese Americans during that time, I think, was a dark stain in our history, and it definitely wasn't the way a quote unquote Christian nation should have treated people within its borders. If I was to engage in ongoing cross cultural ministry with Japanese Americans, first I would just apologize for what they went through. Just acknowledge that, I can't understand what you're going through. I just want to apologize, and just to listen. I think um, sometimes people feel like they're not heard, and they're not given a chance or an environment to speak their mind and to be listened to, and just to listen to them, and set up some type of ministry, some type of opportunity where we can get their homes back, we can get them jobs, and we can get them back into society. That's what I would do if I was doing cross cultural ministry right after that time when the Japanese Americans were released from their internment camps. Those are my answers to the questions for assignment 3.3. Thank you.